So you want to be a dungeon master?
So you wanna be a dungeon master?
So you want to be a DM?
Name some feats, okay? Feats.
So you want to be a DM?
That's great. We're here to help. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Justin. This week, we're going to be doing something a little different. This episode is about the players. In the long history of tabletop role-playing games, there have been players. I looked it up. That's, I think, true. As long as there's been games that you play, people have been referred to as players. They play the game after all. But what makes a good player or a bad player? Is it all subjective, or are there some objective truths out there for being a player at a TTRPG table? We're going to explore some of the ways a player can help their DM, their fellow party members, and the overall story. So without further ado, let's jump into it. But first... What's going to be but first? One player can't make the session. What do you do?
Oh no.
A classic conundrum that many people fall prey to. It's going to happen. Life happens. People cancel last minute. Hopefully they don't, and they give you as much notice as possible. But genuinely, like, life does happen.
Yeah.
You know, things happen. Your car breaks down on the way to the TTRPG game. Like, hey, DM, sorry, but my car broke down. I'm not coming. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah,
there are times where it's like, it is a game.
Mm-hmm.
So there is like a give and
life,
take to it between the
life does
between
get
whoever's
in the way
canceling and no matter who's canceling or not showing up or whatever. Obviously, if it's the DM, that also is an interesting thing that we should discuss. But what if it's just a player? Not just a player, you know what I mean? Sorry, players. I would just not just a player. That's not
really. I know what you think I'm going to say. I know what you think I'm going to say. And that would be, it depends, but I'm not. Because there is one thing that gets done no matter what. There's one thing that gets done no matter what, and that is ask your table what they want to do. Ask them.
That's a good idea. Genuinely.
I mean, there is no general canned response other than, hey, such and such can't make the session. What do you guys want to do? Do we want to just power through that episode? Because that's a totally viable option. Okay, that person's just not in the session, and we'll do some kind of story that doesn't necessarily have to involve them. Or you could do a one shot, a completely separate story, completely separate characters. Just have like a one shot type of day. Try out a different system, maybe. Like give them all a shot. We've been dabbling in other systems recently, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. So, that's an option. Obviously if you've got a player who it's their like character arc type of deal and they're not going to be there, which happens.
Yeah.
Maybe we pause the campaign for
postpone.
Yeah. Don't do like I did in Baldur's Gate 3 and finish Shadowheart's campaign without her in the party. She gets real mad if you do that. She left. She left.
Hilarious. Of course she did.
Yeah.
Of course she did.
Yeah. I didn't know though. Like, it's one of those things like, how the F would I know that's I had to have Shadowheart in this thing, and there's no way for me to go back to camp it's like you step into that other dimension thing. And I had put the game down for like months at this point. And so I really know what was going on. So I was like, okay, well, looks like the next area I'm supposed to go into. Went in there, beat the boss, and I came out and Shadowheart was all mad. And I'm like, what did I do? Oh, right.
I did your story.
Your whole thing was this, and I did it without you. Right. So yeah, don't do that. Don't do that to your players. They get really mad, and it's totally it's rightful for them to get mad because their story's getting done without them.
Yeah.
But other than that, anything's fair game. Like, really, there's a million different things that you could do. There is a world where some tables don't like to not have the whole table there. I've been at tables where it's been like, hey, one person's not going to be here. Do we continue the story without them and then just have them join back in, or what do you want to do? And it's like, well, it just
Yeah.
kind of feels weird to not have them at the table. So let's just not do this session.
Hmm. Yeah.
Let's just take a
Yeah. I
break.
mean, we've made that
You
decision
know,
before at our home game
mental
where it was
health
just like,
is key. Take care of your
yeah, yeah, yeah.
brains.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this is a game. So yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely want to check in and make sure that having the game is worth it. Um, that doesn't make your own whatever you're going through worse. But like,
Mm,
um, I think everything you said was on what I was going to say anyway. There's so many things you can do, playing other systems, doing a random one-off, one shot, whether
mhm.
it's completely random and it's just like, hey, I've been thinking about this weird setting. Can I experiment and just do this one shot and try, like, see it if it works?
Mm,
Or like you could do it a one shot in the same setting that the party is in, but having it be um, either a time thing where it was like, oh yeah, this remember that time where you guys took downtime for 2 weeks in
yeah, yeah, yeah.
game at Waterdeep? Like, let's just say that this was like a night out that you guys had
Right.
where it was only the three of you instead of the
Mhm.
four of you or whatever the numbers are. Um, or you could have it be like, hey, here's all these funny NPCs that we met along the way who aren't like main characters by any means.
Right.
Let's just do a dumb adventure where you guys are them, or let's do a battle royale PvP thing for fun. Or it's usually not fun. PvP is dangerous with D&D. I feel strongly about this, but
PvP ruins friendships.
it can. It's crazy. It depends
Yeah,
on
yeah,
how
yeah.
competitive everyone is and like how role play heavy it can be, or like
Yeah,
the
and it
the
really
the
depends on the
specific
builds. Like if you have one
make of
character
it all.
who's yeah, if you have one character who's made for RP and one person who's made for combat,
Straight
and they're generally
murder.
as a group, they've got the whole package, but then if you put them against each
Yeah.
other, it's like, well, obviously the combat person's gonna win. Like they got
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
they
And
do
it depends on like the terrain
140
and like the
points of
so
damage per
many
turn.
things. Like initiative is going to change the game. It literally is like never
Yeah.
before will initiative like its
Mm,
importance in D&D, it cannot be understated to the point where like I actually am kind of like liking other systems that either don't use initiative or do
mhm.
something entirely different, like Kids on Bikes or
Yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know
I
Daggerheart is
like
like that, but I haven't played Daggerheart only because like as a player I'm okay with it.
mhm,
It's as a DM when you're like, hey, I want this fight to feel X, Y, and Z. And
mhm.
unless I fudge stuff, there's so many times when initiative can just instant kill an
Right.
encounter.
Right, right,
Unless I'm
right.
like, oh, actually, this guy has a legendary resistance and he's not banished in the first
Hmm.
fucking turn.
Hmm.
Or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah,
that can
yeah,
happen
yeah.
so often with initiative. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think I there's a actual play that I watched and I cannot for the life of me figure out which one it was. It was either NADPOD, Dimension 20, or Greetings Adventurers. And I think it was Greetings Adventurers, who the DM kind of threw away initiative order in a sense, in that it was the players' turns and then it was the bad guys' turns,
Hmm.
which there's a world where that kind of makes sense. I personally like it being broken up where, you have a player go and then some of the bad guys go. I think that is more engaging combat
Yeah,
wise.
I agree.
But I also like the fact that or I think the rule was if you rolled initiative and there's no enemies that go in between you, you can act together.
Uh,
So, like, if you rolled a
that's kind of
15
cool.
and somebody rolled a 13, but there's no enemies in that
Yeah,
14
yeah, yeah.
range, then they get to act together. They can choose which one of them goes first.
I'm fine with that kind
They
of.
can,
Yeah.
it got to the point where, like, they were able to stack like action bonus action type of economy type of deal where like okay this person takes
Woof.
their bonus action, they take their action, then the other person takes
Yeah,
their
yeah,
action, the
yeah.
other person takes their bonus action.
That can get a
um
little crazy.
that can get pretty crazy, but I think with the experienced players it's not the worst.
I
I think
agree.
as long as the players know what they're doing, then it's not going to slow combat down a whole bunch. It's the
Mm-hmm.
backtracking of players who are like, oh, I didn't realize I can do this. Can I retcon? It's like,
Woof.
yeah. So,
Yeah. Retconning during combat sometimes is like really
yeah,
challenging. It's such a in the
yeah.
moment thing. But before
Hmm.
we get too off topic,
Sure. Let's get
let's talk
into.
about the Patreon first. So, gang, hey, have you checked out the Patreon? My goodness, are there a bunch of content over there? And there's so much cool magic items that are there for free members. You just got to be a member. And then at the tiers, all kinds of content. That we got cool subclasses of different things of D&D coming out. We have all kinds of things in the pipeline, the bonus action, the action surge. Check it out. And maybe if you guys are interested, we could also even put on there like the more like uncut version of these.
Oh, yeah,
We had a lot of pre-talk.
we did.
That could be a thing. Let us
I
know.
think we were talking for like
Do
a
you
half
want
an
to?
hour before we even started.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, maybe that's a thing. I don't know. But anyway, go check out the Patreon. Link in the
Do it.
description. If you're already a member of the Wormling gang, the Adult Dragon gang, the Ancient Dragon gang, hey, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I love you.
I love you too. Don't let them cut me out of this whole situation. I also love you.
I love you. I can't speak for Taylor. I think he does. I don't know, but I do. That I know is a fact. Um God, I really want to play the game
What's that
Werewolf.
funny?
I think I'd be really good at it.
We'll have a bunch of people at the thing. That's just totally nobody knows about this because it's like the Pixel Paradise thing. The beach house
Oh,
in
yes.
North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, what? Yes. Hell yes. Okay, cool. Zooming in, focusing in, locked in, meat of the episode.
All
Okay.
right, let's do it.
So we're going over what makes a good TTRPG player
Right.
because I wanted to open it up. I think a lot of these things, like we can get into specific examples of D&D, but I do think most of the things we'll be talking about today could apply to like most systems and stuff. Like I don't, you know what I mean? It's not like so specific of like only D&D players does this
Yeah.
apply
No,
to. It's like no, of course.
these are TTRPG things. This is like
Exactly.
almost TTRPG player tropes.
Kind of a little bit. There's definitely some stereotypes here for sure. But unfortunately, it's like they're cliches because unfortunately there are
It does
people who do
happen.
this or at
Yeah.
least have done this in the past and stuff. But anyway, the goal
Check out
of this
the
episode.
Reddit horror
Oh
stories
God, yeah, the
episodes for
Reddit
some of
horror
them.
story episodes. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a reason
We
we
haven't
haven't
done one of
done
those
some of
in
those in a while.
yeah.
There's a reason.
Yeah, they're
Um,
kind of
it's
downers.
depressing. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
man. It's like, geez, God, I can't believe people like this exist. That sucks. Um, so the plan today is to go over traits, behaviors, actions of players to decide are they good, are they bad, are they neutral? Um, how can they improve upon them? How do these work in actuality, in practice? We'll give examples. Um, and how can players practice such techniques of being a good player and or unlearning bad habits because sometimes that can
Right.
happen. But
Yeah. Because it's definitely some of this stuff doesn't necessarily come naturally to everybody, and there have been times where I've been a bad player in D&D and thought, hey, I'm being a bad player right now. These are some of the things that I need to work on. I need to work on kind of engaging in combat more and not getting into the whole video game type aspect of it, of just sitting on my turn and going, I'm doing this, and I'm done. you
Then
know?
I'm just gonna like chill on my phone for 20
Right.
minutes until it
Yeah.
gets back to me. And I'm
And
like,
oh wait,
is he
what's
still
going
alive?
on? Okay, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Still
But anyway,
alive?
we'll get
Fireball
into that.
again.
But nothing that we'll talk about is like inherently you can't come back from. You can be a good player. It's
With like
okay.
95% of these. Some of these are
Fair.
like there's like one or
there's
two
there
extreme ones where it's
yeah,
like, oh,
don't be a
you're a
fucking
bigot, like
racist.
you're a bad
Yeah, don't
person.
be yeah.
Yeah, like
But
don't play with that person. That's
those are problems for your therapist, not for us.
yeah,
Uh
and I honestly seek help, look inward, be
uh
better. Like
be
be on the
better.
right side of history.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
be
yeah.
bigoted and judge people who are different than
Mm.
yourself,
Just
you
don't
know?
hate people.
Yeah, it's just so easy, you know?
It really is though. Just don't hate
Really is
people.
cost you nothing. So, but that's like, and that's all we'll really say about those types of
Yeah.
players. That goes without saying.
Yeah.
Those are bad players. That's an objective truth. Um, so like just to get them out of the way, because I don't want to talk about them too much. These are
Right.
the ones where it's like, this is, I think, I mean, I feel pretty strongly about this. That these are objectively the traits of a bad TTRPG player. Most of
Right.
these. Um, some of these, it does not mean that you can't come back from, that you can't learn and easily. It's not like you're a bad person,
Right.
with the
Yeah, yeah,
exception
yeah.
of the you're a bigot one, which is like again pretty extreme.
Mhm.
These days, I wish it were more extreme, but it's unfortunately, Jesus Christ. But that's a different story. That's a
Mhm.
different podcast. Today, we're
Not
talking
our
about
podcast.
the first one is not working with anyone at the table.
Mhm.
So kind of leaning into that trope, you mentioned tropes, kind of leaning into that lone wolf, that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That edge
Of
lord kind of like, I
yeah,
don't want
yeah,
anyone's
yeah.
help. I'm a lone wolf. I work alone. And you're like,
The
well, why are you part of this party then? And it's like, I'm
yeah.
only using them actually. They're all
Yeah.
pawns.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
okay, how unfun.
And the other side of it is maybe not necessarily being the lone wolf, but like being the type of person who anytime another player at the table comes up with some kind of interesting or fun idea or maybe something that you didn't necessarily think of, them just going, "Oh, I'm not going to be part of that. I don't
Oh yeah.
I don't think my character would do that. I think I'm actually just gonna, we'll let them do their thing and I'll do my thing type of deal. Like,
Yeah. I know
look,
exactly
look,
kind of.
look, look, bro. The whole party decided on one big bed. Okay. The whole party. We had a moment and we said, yeah, we're doing one big bed. And you're gonna go get your own room? Sure. Okay, fine. Go have your room.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. There are times when it's like I'm a firm believer that the even the phrase "that's what my character would do" is
Uh-huh.
on its own without all the bullshit is okay.
Right.
I want you to do what your character would
Yeah, yeah,
do,
yeah. But I
but
also want your character to not be an asshole.
exactly. Exactly. That phrase has been hijacked by people who are assholes, who are playing
Right.
assholes at least. And they're like,
Right.
well, my character would do this. And it's like, but why did you? Everyone else made their characters to at least be like, hey, you and I are comrades. We'll work together for this
Right.
common goal at the
Right.
very least. Maybe not even all buddy buddy and super friendly. Obviously, with our group, it was like that. But it was like, then you just had this 1/4 of the group who was like, I'm on my own.
That's too
I think
fun.
I think when we finish
That's
my
too much
side
fun.
quest, I'm gonna leave. I don't have any reason to be here. And you're like,
Right.
what is the point, man? How many characters can you? I'm fine with people changing. Now we're getting into some personal stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fine with
No,
people
this is
changing
I brought
characters,
up the one big
but
bait. I blame myself for that, but
it
that
is your
was
fault.
that was a really a deep-seated
It
thing.
is your
When that happened, I knew how the next year and a half was going to play out. As soon
yeah.
as that interaction happened, I was like, "Oh, he's a dick."
Mm,
Got
got it.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it.
So the
Anyway,
next one is even worse, I think, and this is actually I believe it is ignoring safety tools and boundaries.
yeah.
Easy one to point out. if players say, hey, this topic, arachnophobia, I'm terrified of spiders. They freak me out. Even just the mention of them and like the idea, I'll start picturing them in my head. That freaks me out. Don't mention spiders. Like I just don't want to fight them in the game, in the world, blah, blah, blah. Obviously they can exist. I understand that, but like I don't want to talk about them. And then if you as the player hear that and then go, I'm going to talk about spiders and see how they react and blah, blah, then you're an asshole. Like that's bad. They explicitly told you not to. You did it anyway. Not good. You're not listening. You're not respecting that person's boundaries. It's not that hard not to include spiders. It's so like that is obviously a huge thing.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody belittles a safety tool on its own, the idea of like, why do you even need safety tools? People can't talk about anything these days. Bah! People can't talk about anything these days. They literally can't because of Jimmy. We're not going to get into it. We can't.
Yeah, we're
Justin.
not. We
can't.
simply cannot. But
Simply can't. I've
but
said
no,
too much already.
Yeah, safety tools are there for the whole table to have fun. It's not just about you. I'm sorry. There's 6 other people here. You're gonna have to cope.
Yeah.
If you're not cool with safety tools, guess what? You can
fart out of here.
Get the
fart out of here.
Doors right there. The disconnect button's right down there in the bottom left corner. Have a good life.
Don't let the door hit you where the Lord split you. All right,
exactly,
pal?
Dale.
Palorino, yes. Get out of here. Okay, the next one, cheating.
Yeah.
Cheating. Oh, I included with this lying about your roles. Mm-hmm. And also I just put, because if I put metagaming, it would be too broad. Right. Because there's metagaming like,
there's good
hey, I have 15 hit points left. And then there's like metagaming of like the worst kind of metagaming. Like, oh, I've read Curse of Strahd. I know where all the artifacts and treasures are. Let's go get them. Like
I've got the stat block open right here. He says he has 47 hit points. I've done 52. How is it not dead yet?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the worst kind of metagaming. Don't do that. It takes the fun out of the game.
Yeah.
And it is also a little I think that there's something kind of like, especially when you're doing that kind of thing, the stat block. Mm-hmm. I think it's very the hubris to be like, my DM is definitely going to do this exactly by the book. Right. To be like, I know exactly how my DM's going to do this. And it's like, your DM can easily just change a thing at any time. And that's allowed and fine and encouraged.
Yeah. Okay. I said 90 originally. I would say about 50% of the time, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know what my next plan for this section is. I have bullet points. I know generally where we're going to be going, but for the most part, I don't have, I'm a very, as with,
seat of the pants.
Yeah, very much a pantser when it comes to, planning. Not a pantser. Mm-hmm. There's planners and pantsers. You're a planner.
Oh God,
I'm a pantser. You like to have all your little notebooks. I might have an index card.
I have to have all my notebooks. My index cards. I have my index cards. I have all my notes.
Yeah. No, I've got the module open on the screen. We're gonna follow it, kinda. I need to get there for the maps because the maps look cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seriously. I think that's a good one. And also just like lying about roles. It's one of those things. I mean, when a DM fudges their dice, I think there's a little bit more care there. At least it's done for the right reasons.
Right.
I do think. Yeah, I do think it's maybe a good idea for the DM to just tell the party, not every single time they do it, but like at session 0, be like, hey, sometimes I do this.
Yeah, sometimes I am gonna just be like, yeah,
it'll 99.9% of the time be in your favor.
Yeah, it's definitely like the most times that I've done it is with a player on 2 HP and I roll a 20 and I'm like, he fucking misses. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to fucking kill you right now. This is an imp. I'm not trying to send you out that way, bro.
Send you out that way. Yeah.
No. Send you out that way.
Stuff like that is so real. Sometimes with initiative, because of how powerful it is, especially at high level D&D with spells. I'll just take bad guys, and let's say I have my three groups.
Right.
I'll just go 20, 15, 10. Or
Yeah.
if I know that there's somebody like insane, if there's a reason for like one of the monsters to be really fast and quick in initiative, I'll just straight up be like, you got a 25.
Right.
And it's like the bad guy gets to go first, real quick monologue. Let me get this out of my system, and then we can
Right.
actually start combat. Um,
Also, while we're
and
talking about bad player tropes, don't interrupt your DM in the middle of a goddamn monologue.
oh, I think that one, it depends on the circumstance, but I kind
If
of
it's a
agree.
if it's
It,
a set description, don't do it. If it's actually the BBEG making a big evil monologue, we'll
table
discuss
by
it in the
table,
moment.
yeah,
We'll
sometimes,
discuss it in the moment. But
yeah. Or you could it would be not as a DM who does monologues as villains often. I would appreciate a can I interrupt? Like, am I allowed to interrupt? If you interrupt with that question, I'm gonna feel way more better than you just being like, I cast fireball.
right,
Because it's like, okay, dude, he's gonna say his whole couple sentences, and then you can cast fireball. I don't even care. But let
right,
me just say the things.
right,
Like
right, right.
I'm not necessarily saying that your characters are like frozen in fear as he speaks. It's just like I wrote a little thing. Let me just
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah. I wrote
You
I
know,
that because
I
that is
even
generally what it
scripted
is.
it.
Like I wrote a thing for this. You guys, can we just
I
sit
know.
and let
It
me
sounds
read my thing?
cool.
I
It's gonna
promise.
fire you
He's
up
gonna
before
be
the combat because
super
it's gonna
fucking
suck.
menacing.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to throw that fireball as soon as he's done. As soon as he finishes. Just wait a
So
second.
funny.
Just wait a second.
Okay, let's switch gears here.
Sure.
Let's start talking about good players,
Love
objectively
that.
good players.
Let's do it.
Give some examples because we certainly went into examples with one big bet. My goodness.
This is a really deep cut. I
I didn't
didn't
know if you were
realize
going to
it
go there, but you did.
hurt. I didn't realize it
Oh,
was going to
so
hurt as
funny.
much as it did, but it really did bring up some
It
things.
fires me up, man. Um, anyway,
Anyway,
the first one is being collaborative.
yeah,
And
what's
I'm
the
being
biggest, the
broad
best
with
one?
some of these, but then going into greater detail. Like just talking about working with the other party members. So
Mhm.
just working with other players and you're being collaborative in that specific direction is still so helpful. There's a new player there. You're like, hey, here's how oh, you're looking for investigation. It's right here on your sheet. Or
Mm,
those little tiny things are so nice for players. If you see a player kind of helping another player, so
right.
nice. So
Yeah.
nice. You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah. Yeah.
mean? Even if you're playing virtually and like one player's like, hey, how do I measure the distance to see if I can shoot this spell?
Right.
And if before you get it out as the DM, because normally the DM in that moment, at least I would, my
Also has,
brain lights up and I'm like, oh, I must answer this question as
right.
the
Right.
DM.
Right.
But if a player were to cut me off and answer the question instead of me, that in my head is like, that's a good player because they're
Mhm.
helping other players, and that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. 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 A
Um,
good player makes the game more accessible for new players.
mhm.
A
Yeah, the
good
opposite of
player,
they're a gate opener. Okay.
right? Exactly.
They're walking
Not a
around the
gate.
opening gates left and right, dude.
They're just taking those gates and they're freaking Spartan kicking them open. This is D&D.
B and
And just,
E's left and
yeah,
right,
left and right.
breaking and
Breaking
entering.
windows. If you got a glass ceiling in there somewhere, they'll smash that shit too.
They'll
Let me
smash that
tell you
shit right
something.
open.
Good players open
Let me tell
doors
you
for
something.
other people.
Let me tell you something. Let me cook. Yeah,
As soon
there's
as
so
I
many
get
different ways to do it too, because you can also do it in the story as the characters, role playing wise. You can like help one another out. Um, and there's literally a mechanic for this, guys. I don't know if people know this. In D&D, there's literally a help mechanic. And so you can
what?
actually help the other PCs. And that's really fun too. Make your characters if
So,
like you when one player in like a Discord group is like low key like the first one to reach out to another player and be like, "Hey, would it be cool if our characters were X, Y, and Z?" That to me
yeah,
is like, oh, Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Love that shit.
So I want to also touch on, and I know we were talking about good players, but let me just talk about a maybe not so savory. I wouldn't call this a bad player because I've done this out of kind of like oh, I just thought about this thing. Let me bring it up. And then, but like helping people does not mean telling people how to run their character.
Oh, good point. Good point, dude.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
so like
important to bring up.
if you know that a character has an XYZ ability, you know,
Yeah.
it if you're thinking about it, like because I do this as the like unofficial team strategist when it comes to like our home game.
Hmm.
When I think of stuff, I bring it up, and if the other player doesn't go along with it, they have their own plan. Cool. Don't be like, hey, did you think about XYZ? Well, you need to do that on your turn. Don't
Yeah.
do that. If it comes up, bring it up, let them know that you've thought of it, and then leave it at that. If they choose to run their character a different way, fine. But
Exactly. Let them play their character.
it's their character at the end of the day.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. And it can be hard when you're like a veteran player and you're like, oh boy. And there's a difference between like a brand new player and being like, oh, you do have a bonus action actually.
Right.
Before you end your turn, you do have a bonus action.
Right, right,
Like
right.
that's doing that like once or twice the first time that new player plays is a little different than being like, no, 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 don't hide. What you need to do is dash. And then what you can go
Right.
that way. That way on my turn, I can do that. And then it's like,
Uh-huh.
okay,
Uh-huh.
what are you doing? Are you playing all the
Uh-huh.
characters? Go play Baldur's Gate 3. It's great for that. You can actually play the entire
Right,
party.
right, right, right.
Um, which low key is fun sometimes to get that out of your system and be
Mm,
like, cool, I can set up all four characters in a different way, have them all join in. Like it is fun to a certain degree, but that's not what we're doing when we're playing TTRPG style D&D.
right.
That's video game D&D. Baldur's Gate, totally different. But yeah, I think that's a really good point. That's how you would go too far with it in a way. You're helping
Right,
too
right,
much
right.
actually.
Yeah,
Calm down.
actually, we need you to dial the help back. Just like you're at like a 12, and you're at like an 8. Like,
Um, the next one is
I'm,
under collaborative is working with the DM. So this is just
mhm.
being collaborative. Just like I always appreciate a good player. It's not like you need this, but like I appreciate a player who is willing to kind of tete-a-tete with me when
Yes,
it
the
comes to
back
like
and forth
backstory
is
stuff
yes.
and building your character out. Like I want it. I'm okay with it sometimes. Like it's certainly faster if I just feed you all the if I have to
Mhm.
quote unquote have to feed you all the information and be like, okay, here's the deities, pick one, and here's the NPCs, and
Right,
here's the
right,
town.
right.
But I like it a little bit more when the person has their own voice and
Yes.
contributes to it,
So
you know?
here's kind of my thoughts on that specific thing working with the DM. Rather than asking, "Hey, DM, what's in this town?" Find an NPC and have a conversation with them.
Mm, yeah.
You know, like I as a DM and as a player, but that's just me. But like as specifically as a DM, I enjoy having the conversation as an NPC in the world between my character and your character as opposed to me and you having a conversation because that's the game. The game is
Yeah.
being in the world. Having that conversation with an NPC feels more meaningful than just me giving you information.
Yeah. Absolutely. Especially when you're probably going to get the same information either way, but at least this way is flavored with the immersion of being in the world and having
Right.
another
I'm telling you
character.
as Boblin the Goblin. And he talks like this, and he's a crazy little guy.
He's so crazy. I would love to see you keep that voice up.
I could do it. Absolutely, I could do it.
I would I need to meet this goblin.
Boblin the Goblin. I just made him up, but okay. He's look. So
So
We'll talk more about it after the episode because I don't want to talk too much about this over on the
I don't
podcast.
know. We
But
should
yeah,
move on. You're
yeah,
absolutely
we
right.
absolutely should
You've
move
caught
on.
us before a dangerous tangent. Um, we would have gone deep on a Boblin avenue. So the next one is, and this goes hand in hand with working with the other players, but it's specifically about spotlighting others.
Mm,
So this is like from a role play standpoint of just bringing others into the fold. Sometimes you're going to have people at the table who aren't very talkative. They're a little quiet, maybe a more reserved, maybe it's shyness. It could be a number of things. It could
mhm.
be just a comfort level or a safety thing where they're just like not really out of their shell yet. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
That's why session 0 is so important to kind of at least find those things out and for there to be communication between the DM and the
Yeah.
players, both like individually and as a group. But sometimes it's just because that player is inexperienced and they don't know how to like get in there. And
And
so being like, hey, Boblin, uh, hey, do you want to do the first watch with me tonight? Like when we're camping?
right. Just that
And
little simple
Boblin would say,
conversation. Yeah, I'm on it.
perfect.
I can, I don't sleep. I'm a freaking goblin. It's dark out.
And
No, the fuck
goblins
it's not.
famously don't sleep.
Goblins. Look, I'm a goblin and I'm on crank.
And you're on Crank, the Jason Statham movie?
Yes. Yeah, I've been watching Jason Statham movies for the last week and a half, nonstop, with my eyes held open. I'm on it. Just Jason Statham's crank for the
Boblin,
last
I've
week and a
changed my
half.
mind. I have changed my mind. I don't want to do a watch.
What's wrong with Bobbly the Goblin? I love Jason Statham. He's my favorite actor.
We have to move on. We have to move on. We said we wouldn't go down the Boblin route, and I did it anyway. Um, Finally, I put helping others with mechanics if necessary. This is just like goes into the other idea of just being helpful, being collaborative, working with others. It's teamwork. That's that you're having a table, you're in a group setting. So having good group dynamics, working well with others, all of those are good signs of a good player. The next one is engagement, participation. And this can look
For the
in,
love of
there's
God,
so many different levels of this. There's so many different ways it can look.
please
Um,
put your fucking phone down. I'm begging you.
it's not great.
It's one it like I
In person, it's
understand.
especially not great, I gotta
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. I just I understand that there are sometimes emergencies that pop up and you've got to check your phone every now and then. I don't mind the occasional checking, but if I'm literally describing a scene and I look up and I'm seeing a bunch of this, of just, I feel
It
like I'm
is
doing a shitty
discouraging.
job.
Yeah, it's very
Like it makes me
discouraging.
feel bad.
Yeah. And so, hey, don't make
Hey,
Taylor feel bad, you
don't
pieces
make
of
me.
shit. You get out, you pay attention. Anyway, so the idea is the first one, paying attention, just paying attention in general.
Mm,
Things are going to come up. You might get asked a question. It is very discouraging and also it can be frustrating and it takes things back. It breaks the immersion in a way that is very jarring. And I've been on record saying this, I actually think immersion is sometimes overrated because some people put it ahead of like safety and stuff because they're like,
yeah.
no, we can't even talk about safety tools because they break immer, and you're like, get out of town with this. But I think it breaks immersion in a very jarring way.
Hmm.
And so I just think paying attention, just like, why are you playing the game if you're not there to be in the world and to play, to be part of it?
Right.
I don't know.
And
Yeah.
there are obvious exceptions to this rule that you know I we probably won't wind up discussing at a later date, but like, if you've got real life shit going on, like this is this is a game. If you got
Mm.
real life shit going on, that you got real life shit going on, and
Yeah,
I
totally different.
understand that. But at the same time, I hate calling on a player at the table and hearing, "Oh wait, what's happening?"
Mm. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, it
It's
hurts.
pretty
It hurts
rough,
me
which
in
is
the
why,
soul because it's like, bro, I've been literally talking about this for 20 minutes. We've had
Mhm.
other players engage. Like literally the whole party is on board with this. What do you mean what's happening?
It's hard sometimes when you ask a question and you don't hear anything back for a little bit, and you're like,
Right.
okay, do I am I
And I'm
muted?
guilty of that. Yeah.
And sometimes it's when you're playing with without cameras too, and you're
Uh-huh.
like, am I on mute? Like, what is going on? Can anyone hear me? And you'll ask the question again, like, hey,
Uh-huh.
am I here? But so yeah, that's always helpful, that kind of stuff. Just being paying attention. Being invested in the game is a
Mhm.
great sign of a good player who's just like interested,
I
curious, excited.
right.
All of
Yeah,
those
yeah,
things
yeah.
make me as a DM feel great and be like excited to play with this person.
Mhm.
Um, Obviously, some of that work comes onto the DM because the DM should be explaining the world, the setting, the adventure in a way that excites the players, right? Obviously.
Mhm.
So like it goes hand in hand, but man, that makes me feel great when a player's like, "Whoa, tell me more about your Pantheon." Like, it's any
Right.
questions about my
Right,
settings
right.
and stuff, I'm always like, "Hell yeah, I'll talk all about it." So that's always great. I think active listening, just having, especially when there's no cameras, every few minutes being like, "Uh-huh," is so helpful. Just so that I can hear somebody listening to
Somebody's
me.
verbally acknowledging that
Yeah.
there are words being
Otherwise,
said.
I'll ramble. Yeah, so that's
I'll
really
sit here
helpful.
and
But on
scream into the
camera,
void.
exactly. On camera, in person, I think it's really just comes down to like active listening, right? So you're
Yeah.
just like listening to somebody every once in a while, making eye contact from time to time. You don't have to maintain eye contact like a psychopath, but like whatever. And then also, don't do that. And then also, um, and then also doing like simple, I don't know, nonverbal things. I'm not going to teach you how to
Mm.
active listen. Just do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Just
Just
do it,
do it.
okay?
Watch a video.
Just
I
do
don't
it,
know.
okay?
There's
Nike.
people on yeah, there's people on YouTube. Active listening. Just Google it. You'll get the
Just
gist.
just Google it. Asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
This is so nice, and it goes in so many directions, man. Whether you're asking questions about, hey, can I find, I like it when people, I made a video about this. I like it when people are specific with their questions
Mm.
sometimes, as opposed to just like, all right, what do I see? And it's like, poof, well, I did just give a description. So you saw that.
Right.
And I always have to be like, what are you looking for? Because I don't love the idea of like, all right, what do I see? What do I get? What is in this room? And it's just like,
Right.
woof, every single time. I would
Right. Yeah, yeah,
rather,
yeah.
at least every once in a while, I would rather a player be like, all right, cool. Is there
Because
any
they're
hidden compartments in the walls and the bricks? Like, is there any loose bricks or anything? Like something a little bit more specific. I like that
yeah.
more. If that's just maybe that's a personal thing, but
Well, as a chronic non-planner, there's a lot of times where I don't necessarily know exactly what's in the room. I know what information I want to give you, but I don't know how I'm going to do that. I know what items I'm going to give you,
right,
but I don't know how it's going to happen.
right, right,
So
right.
your questions will inform the story and how it, you know, progresses and how your character finds this information because I can give you this information 30 different ways,
Mm-hmm.
however you're looking for it. Let me know what you're doing. Tell me how you're interacting with the space. I understand you need a general floor plan of the room or like a general description, but I
Yeah,
mean that can be a sentence or two. What are you looking for? How are you investigating this space?
I know. Yeah. I think sometimes being more specific, showing that you're curious and that your like questions are a little creative, always makes me really interested and excited to play with that player, you
Hmm.
know? Even when I'm a player and another player is like asking good questions and I see the DM being like, ooh, good question. I'm always like, oh shit. All right, they're in it, it
Yeah.
shows me that they're interested, that they're engaged, if they're like thinking about the campaign and the setting and stuff. So that's
Hmm.
always good. And the last one, hey, you're respectful. That can look like a bunch of things. I'm a big
We respect the fam here.
I'm a big believer in the idea that like, or the philosophy, whatever you want to think of it as, that like here I am, here is a person I've never met before, right? Instantly, I give them respect.
Hmm.
And then maybe through their actions and behavior, they're a bad person and they will then lose that respect. And then in
Right.
theory, they would have to earn it back. The idea that you have to like earn respect right from the jump, I think is wrong.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
so I think being
Um,
respectful is a really good sign of a good player. It's like a pretty low bar to hit. At least I would like to believe that it is, because it's like how we mentioned it before. How hard is it, right? It doesn't cost you anything. Just be respectful.
to
Um,
be fair, being a dick is free too. But
yeah, but it's also like it'll get you in the end, I think. I think karma
yeah.
wise
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
it's like, and like stress and energy wise, I think it's like it takes more energy to be like so
Yeah.
hateful and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
gross. But I get what
Um,
you mean.
yeah. 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 But like, as far as the giving and getting of respect, I generally go with I give the respect that I'm given, you know.
Hmm.
I'm gonna extend that hand, but if you show to me like, hey, I'm kind of a piece of shit, or hey,
Hey, I'm a little bit of a piece of shit.
I'm a
You're like,
little bit of a
thank you for
piece of shit.
telling me, because I
Thank you.
you lost
I'm gonna
a
take
little
that.
bit of my respect.
I'm gonna take back some of that respect.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
exactly. And that can, in the context of TTRPGs, that can look like a lot of different things. Obviously, there's the human decency angle, and that doesn't really need discussing any further. I think we've made our case.
yeah,
But then there's other things that are logistical and stuff. I think being punctual to a certain degree is very important when it comes to
yeah,
respect. And at the very least, communication about not being punctual. Tell
right.
me you're going to be late. Tell me you're going to miss the session, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's
You're not
important.
immediately a piece of shit because you're 5 minutes late or 10 minutes
Exactly.
late or
Of course not.
whatever.
No.
But I would have liked to have known.
Yeah, just tell
I
me.
could have
Just tell
been
me.
out
Shoot me
smoking
a
a
quick message.
doobie,
Shoot me a
man.
text. Easy peasy.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, bro. I could have had a quick kickflip, you know?
yeah.
I could have
Oh my
practiced my
gosh.
kickflips
Speaking
for
of
5 minutes.
Justin, have you seen the new free game Skate?
It's free.
It's free. It's free.
Skate
It's like a revamp of the Skate
of
video
the
game.
skate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. OG Skate, but they've
Whoa.
remastered it, and I don't
And
know if
it's
it's a
free?
remaster or completely. It's free right now. It's on like early access, free, whatever.
Dang.
Yeah.
Gang, you
Also,
heard it here
not
first, just like I
sponsored,
did. Gang,
not
thank you,
sponsored
skate.
content. But
Thank you,
yeah,
Avacom,
I know you also like this
Eversoft.
the
Fuck.
one of the first questions I got asked in that game was how into skater culture are you?
Ooh,
And there's like a thing. And like I know you're kind of into the skater culture. And I was like, look,
a little bit, a little
let me
bit. From
let
the
me just
outside looking in, like I
Mhm.
can't skate for my life.
Right.
Dude, I made a video recently for the finale of Mythos in terms of a promotion video where I rode a
Mhm.
skateboard. My God, dude, I was nervous. I was standing on it and I was like, woof, this feels crazy. I haven't ridden a skateboard in so long. I need to tighten the trucks a little bit, I feel, because I was like,
Mm.
it's wobbly.
You're like,
I don't
oh.
remember it being this wobbly. It was crazy. I was like, I'm gonna eat ass on this fucking asphalt. It's gonna be bad because it's on camera. Oh man, I would have used it too in the footage because it would have got views, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
God, I hate myself.
Yeah.
So being respectful,
Yeah, be respectful.
punctual, communicative. Um, I think all of that is really nice. Like if being timely with your responses when it comes to certain things is really nice.
Hmm. Hmm.
All of those things, good player.
And
Pretty objective
yeah,
about that.
and I think that this goes without saying in my mind, but you know, the world's kind of weird. But like, just because somebody's beliefs don't necessarily align with yours, unless it comes to bigotry, hatred towards other people, like outright
Yeah,
hatred
like
is never good
obvious
in my book.
things. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like, you
But
know,
if they like pistachio ice cream and you don't, that's fine.
right, right. Yeah, I mean,
I
don't
guess that's fine.
don't
Pistachio ice
get
cream is
upset.
delicious, and I might judge you a
It's
little bit, but
disgusting. It's
oh,
absolutely vile.
so good.
All right, well, I
Fucking
guess we're
love
done
it.
with the podcast, gang. Um,
Brought to you by Skate.
but
So
yeah,
there's
I
so many
mean,
other
just
traits
don't be
too
a
that
dick. Yeah,
don't be a dick.
just don't be a dick to your the other
Don't
people
be a
at the
dick.
table. If they're not exactly the same as you, good. Honestly, good.
Good. That I'm so happy that you're playing with people who aren't like you. Honestly, that's sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep it up, you know. Anyway, there's all different kinds of traits of players as well that I didn't want to necessarily put under any of the objective categories. I think these are
Right,
like for me, like if a player has most of these, then it is good. But like it's not like you need this right off the jump or anything. Like being respectful is like I don't care if you've never played D&D, right? That's just a human
right.
thing, like just
Yeah,
being
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
But going into a lot of these that last one actually could probably be objective. But we'll hit it when we hit it. So then knowing your character sheet, I think that's
Yeah.
nice. I think that's a helpful, nice thing. It's nice when players know their character sheets and
Mhm.
stuff, but some of that goes to the level of experience. And so there's like a learning curve. It's not a big deal if I'm playing with a new player, it's like, yeah, bro, I get it. You don't know your
Yeah,
character sheet. Like that's fine. I expect
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But when it's like, hey, I've already told you a couple times about this particular rule, and it's like, what are we doing at this point?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Sometimes there's
mean,
a certain time where you're
it's
like,
come up
okay,
more than once. Come on. Can we just
yeah,
can you just retain the like
retain.
just a little
um,
bit? Yes, you can dash as a bonus action. Yes. That's a thing.
yeah.
Uh,
Um, I think so. Then, if you're a player and you know your character sheet a ton, I think that's awesome.
mhm.
It's nice to know what your character can do mechanically. Knowing who your character is role play wise is very helpful. Um, I think all of that is good. Here's what I will say. Don't let yourself get too constricted about that stuff, though. Even if your character sheet says X, Y, and Z, be like, hey, what about
Uh,
Q, though? Can I do this? Like every once in a while, you never
Q's a
know, the
good
DM
option.
might. The, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Department Q is a good show on
And
Netflix.
and yeah, so like, but like that kind of goes to the we're more talking about like rule of cool as opposed to
Mm,
strictly what your character can do. But
yeah.
knowing your character sheet, you can kind of be like, hey, listen, I know this spell says this is what's happening with this spell,
Yeah.
but what if?
And sometimes it's not even like you're explicit, like the rule says
Right,
explicitly I can't do this, but can I?
right,
Sometimes it's
right.
just like the spell technically doesn't say either way.
It doesn't say I can't do it.
Right.
Right, right.
Airbud? Anyone? Like it doesn't say I can't humiliate these other kids with my dog. It just says I watched a TikTok today talking about one guy was like, I hate the movie Airbud. And the other two on the pod were like, what do you mean? Why? And he was like, imagine if you were the dad of a kid on the other team
Right,
and you have to
right.
explain to your son who you've been teaching the fundamentals to that he just got his ass kicked by a dog. And then he quits the basketball team, joins the football team, and then Airbud 2,
And
golden
then everybody,
retriever, golden receiver. And
that kid's never gonna be okay. He's never
that's
gonna be
he's just
okay.
gonna grow up hating dogs. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Um, God, he's like, you see Marley and me?
That's how serial
Hilarious.
killers are made. Like honestly,
Woo, boy.
I
Yeah,
think
the
getting
kids of Airbud.
double air
Getting
butted
that'll mess you
that
up,
would
dude.
break me as a human
That
being.
would mess you up. That small town is getting ravaged by that dog. By that dog's sports success. Okay. So, for new players, obviously, hey, you don't know your character sheet right off the bat, no problem. But do work on it. Start to look at your character sheet before the
Mhm.
session. Go over your character sheet really quickly. Recap on your spells. Refresh yourself on what your character can do. If you postponed last time and you're playing again, you know what I mean. Like, and that goes to
Right.
veteran players too. Like, depends on how long it's been.
It always
We're playing in
it
so
always
many
helps.
games where it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck can my character do? That's why I
I
got look
have
at it. I got For my
5 different
bard,
character sheets. Yeah.
for my bard character, I got my bag of tricks. I got my cloak of displacement, my ring of evasion with little circles that I can use pencil and draw in.
Hmm.
My Asimar stuff, my spell casting, all my little spells and spell slots and stuff. I got slow, dispel magic, and mass healing word are my
Nice.
third level spells. Anyway, so work on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If after a year of playing with you, you still don't know what the barbarian's rage does, I'm gonna feel some type of way.
Yeah.
It's not that you're a
Yeah.
bad person. It's just something's disconnecting. There's something going on, and we have to figure it out before
We
we
simply
continue.
must.
Simply must. Um,
Yeah.
the next one, we already mentioned sharing the spotlight. I want to talk
Mhm.
about taking the spotlight because I think this is similar to, we mentioned it before, like helping other players, how there could be a dark side to it of like telling them how to play their characters. Taking the spotlight
Right.
can also be that, where there's like,
Right.
there's a good side to it when like, I want you to take the spotlight. Like, it's
Mhm.
good that you're taking the spotlight. I want players
Yes,
to
this is
talk
your
and to
arch nemesis for
have their
your whole life.
moments.
Yes, I want you guys to
Yeah.
have a conversation and then we're gonna duke it out. But yeah,
But don't take
definitely
spotlight from other players.
bingo.
Yeah.
Know when it's your arc that you're intruding on.
Right. And it doesn't even need to be like story arc, like a huge thing. It
Mhm.
could just be like in that episode, in that moment or session or whatever. I think in episodes now. But like in that session, like two of the PCs are talking to one another and having a meaningful conversation during the
Mhm.
watch. If your character's supposed to be asleep, hey, be asleep.
Yeah.
Like
Know when
even
your
if
character's in
even
the scene or
if they
not. Yeah.
mention you. Yeah, like it's one thing to be like, "Hey DM, did I overhear that?" Like, did I overhear that at all? But don't, and you could say that, hey, after this, after it happens, or something, or privately
Mhm.
DM the DM. Whoa,
Yeah.
that sounded crazy in my head.
Whoa.
Privately DM the DM, or message them, like
Yeah.
ask them, hey, is it possible that I overheard this? But interrupting their scene, sometimes, like, don't get me wrong, it's rare, but there's times when, like, yeah, I guess that makes sense and it kind of can add to it. But like most of the time, it just comes across like you're butting in a little bit. And it's like
Yeah.
sometimes it's nice to let people have their own scenes and everything. And
Mhm.
that can be a hard thing to figure out of like when's the right time, when's the wrong time, because
Yeah.
sometimes I mean, we do it all the time where we talk over each other, we're saying our own jokes and stuff, and everyone's butting in and stuff. And sometimes that's totally fine. And then it's like one of those things where it's like you'll know when you can feel it when you're like, oh, I shouldn't say anything. You know what I mean? It's like
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
can't put your
think
finger on it
that's
until it happens, and you're like, oh,
mm,
I can tell that this scene I shouldn't
actually
talk during.
I should just keep my mouth. Right. Like
Yeah.
actually they're having a really sweet moment. Maybe I don't talk for a little bit. Let them have their thing.
Yeah. I can
Hey,
just wait until they're done.
hey, these people have specifically said they're walking away from the group.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't interject on that scene.
That's huge. That's huge. Because here's what's going to happen: a player is going to encroach on that scene, and one of those other players is going to be really polite about it by saying this. They're going to go, "Oh, I didn't know that you were here,"
Yeah.
and they're going to pretend like you snuck up on them so that
Mhm.
they weren't expecting you to be there.
Right.
And that's the polite way of being like, "Hey, you're not in this scene, actually."
Yeah,
Um,
actually, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it takes practice. It don't feel bad if it's happened before. Like
Mhm.
it does happen sometimes, like because
I
sometimes
mean,
it's
I've done
fully
it.
good intentions.
Yeah.
You're trying to like add to the scene. And instead what you do is you take away from the scene. And it's not a
Mhm.
big deal. It happens. It's just that one scene. You learn from it and you can feel it. But that's something to be just mindful of. But then
Yeah.
again, like I said, there's times where it's like, take the spotlight. This is your moment. Please live up to it and have fun with it, like really lean into it and like let this is
Yeah.
um there's also helping the DM from a logistical standpoint. Obviously we already mentioned helping the DM a little bit, but even just like note keeping and something like that, that's always helpful and nice. um Helping along the new players and stuff, picking
Yeah.
up on this is I love playing with DMs, like people who
Mhm.
DM which is why we have the podcast in the first place. We want everyone to be a DM because even if for some reason, I can't imagine, but if for some reason you're like, it ain't for me, DMing, I mean, then like, hey, be a player, but at least you tried. At least you saw what it
Yeah.
was like and what goes into it. That way, sorry, hit my mic. That way, you can it just makes you a better player. So I love playing with DMs because the next one is so nice, picking up on plot hooks or points of intrigue within the
Yes.
setting or the story. Uh, Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, this implies a certain level of railroading, but it's
Hmm.
sometimes it's not even railroading in the sense of like the one plot hook. It's like, hey, I'm putting out a bunch of plot hooks.
Yeah.
Somebody take something. I can't have the
Somebody,
players just be like, we don't know what to do. I have no idea. And it's like, I genuinely made it very obvious of
I've
what to
given you
do.
5 different things to
I
do.
just need one player to be like, sometimes it's really nice. This is very specific and it depends on the table and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But sometimes it's really nice when there's like a player at the table who is like, their PC is like low key the leader of the group a little bit and is like, hey
Yeah.
guys, I think we should go do X, Y, and
We're
Z
doing
actually.
this now. Yeah.
Sometimes that's really nice. It depends on
Yeah.
the player. It's not, I don't, you can see how that could go wrong quick.
Mhm. A
If
lot
Mr.
of
No
times,
Big Bed tried to do that shit, I'd be like, get out of town with that.
right. Right. The
Go
way that I
jump in a
don't,
lake.
and not to be like, oh, they're talking about me, but like the way that I generally phrase it is, hey, how do you guys feel about doing XYZ?
Right.
How do you guys feel about us going down this quest path? Obviously, we've been provided something to follow. Do we want to do this or do we want to look for something else?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah,
If nobody
definitely.
speaks in the 4 seconds that happens after I go, hey, how do we feel about this? I go, hey, Justin, we're doing this then.
Yeah, just move it along.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like
Yeah.
there's only so much information that DM can give you. No, I totally agree. And last but not least, I put on here just being fun.
Yeah.
Just being nice and cool and friendly and like cool to be around and having good vibes and all of those just like warm fuzzy things. Like just
Hmm.
you're spending a lot of time with this person.
Hours and hours,
You're being
multiple times a
vulnerable around
year.
each other,
Yeah.
role playing and like letting yourself live in this imagination world where you're going to talk in funny, maybe you don't have to, but sometimes you're talking in funny voices. You're like letting your guard down. Like there's so
Yeah.
much trust that should and needs to happen in this game sometimes, in order to tell the best stories, I believe. But like, so when you have a player that just isn't fun to be around or whatever, then it's like, ugh,
Yeah.
what are we doing? Like, I'm here to
Yeah.
have
I
fun. It's
got
a game after all.
I got 5 hours with this person. Ooh, every
Yeah, that
other week.
stinks.
Ooh.
It's
Yeah, it's
rough.
rough. And
It's
if you find
rough.
yourself and if you find yourself in that position as a player or as a DM, it behooves the whole table to bring it up and address it
Yeah.
rather than let it fester and explode later on.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
It
it
really
if it
does because
really comes down to that
if
of
you're
like,
dreading the
hey,
game,
I'm having a bad time playing, bring that up to either not necessarily to the table as a whole, but to the DM, it say something.
yeah.
Communication is key when it comes to those kinds of problems. Because if the DM doesn't know it's a problem, I know that I've overlooked things as a DM of not seeing things that's going on with the interparty stuff.
Oh yeah.
And because I've got so many other s- things
Moving
to
parts and
be
shit.
the Kraken for a minute, and I've got so many pots on so many fires. Yeah.
Yeah. You're spinning plates.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, no, it's so true. You're gonna miss things from time to time. It's also helpful when sometimes you have a player who isn't afraid to kind of like speak their mind a little bit.
Hmm.
Like, for example, we had a player in a session zero, just like I didn't mention it, and she um was like, I actually really prefer if people don't butt into other people's scenes and stuff like that. And like if the moment is dramatic, let it be dramatic. Like you don't need to break it with a joke kind of thing.
Right.
And I was like, that's helpful for. I'm glad that you said that. That like that's
Hmm.
that tells me what kind of player you are. It lets me know that you're not afraid to like tell us your opinions on things and like
Hmm.
your takes. And I like that. I thought that was helpful and good.
Yeah.
Um, I also put down here, this is like, I think a signifier, like a symptom or like a tinier red flag to a bigger red
Uh-huh.
flag of like potentially a bad TTRPG player. And that's being a sore loser. Because as we know,
Yeah.
you don't win and lose in D&D, but you do take hits, you take attacks, you have misses, you have bad rolls, you have your character can die, like all of these things, right? You
Yeah.
can be
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
counterspelled, you can have your healing potions not work because of an
Yeah.
anti-magic field.
It's
Taylor
not
could throw
always gonna go your
another
way.
beholder zombie or whatever the fuck he throws, death tyrants. What
Death
are they called?
tyrants. Yeah. Yeah.
Death
Yeah.
tyrants at you. No healing. If you're a sore loser in that like I can see that being an issue. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where if you're like the person who flips over the Monopoly board at your family Thanksgiving,
Hmm. Hmm.
number one, why are you playing Monopoly on Thanksgiving? That's crazy tradition.
Wild, wild
It's a
family
bad
traditions
board
there.
game. It's
It's objectively a bad game,
it feels like a
actually.
weird holiday to play that game specifically,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
okay. Right
yeah.
before Black Friday.
But look,
Um,
look, your family is your family. I'm not here to judge your family traditions, but just putting it out there, a little weird.
a little weird. So yeah, just being a sore loser is a bad sign. The question is like, would you hang out with this person in general? Like, would
Hmm.
you grab a coffee with them? Would you um shoot hoops with this person? Would you play a game of horse with this person? You know, that's honestly the only way I like to play basketball is a game
Yeah.
of horse. I really enjoy a game of horse or
I'm
around the
not
world.
athletic enough for real basketball. There's no
Oh,
way I'm
dude,
even
my
making a
knees
round of 10.
don't
Yeah,
have it in me
not
for
a
short stops
goddamn
like
chance.
that.
Yeah, but I do like, I also enjoy horse. I'm
Like I
absolutely
like shooting a
terrible at. Yeah,
basketball,
yeah, yeah. I'm absolutely
right?
terrible at
That's
it,
fun.
but it's fun. I like dexterity games. I like basketball, like shooting hoops. I like playing pool. That's one of my absolute
Playing pool
favorites.
is fun.
Darts, darts, any of those kind of like dexterity, I
Darts is
gotta make
good.
the thing
Shuffleboard,
do. Oh yeah, absolutely.
like one of those table ones where it's like a rolling, like a
Uh-huh.
metal roller kind of thing. There's sand on the
Yeah, yeah,
table at
yeah.
a bar. Those
I
kick
so
ass, dude.
I went
I
to
love
there
those.
was a bar I used to go to that didn't have that game specifically, the shuffleboard, but they did have one of those Touchmaster machines. The ones, it's like a computer that they set on top of the bar. You feed your dollar bills into it and you can play a bunch of different games. Like there's a bunch like match games or
Mm.
like find the
Oh, I
difference
had no
games.
idea.
One of them's a shuffleboard game. I used to play the ever loving shit out of that game. Oh,
Shuffleboard is fun. It's so
there's
simple.
nobody here to play pool against. Okay, I guess I'm playing shuffleboard against the goddamn computer.
Dude, shuffleboard's so much fun. I think I remember an old computer game on like MS-DOS, like or something, where it was a Christmas themed game, and I think it was elves, and you were just slinging elves down a shuffleboard thing. It was like curling, but with an elf, and you were just like throwing them down the line. I can't remember that, but and I think out of all of the things that we've talked about today, being a good player, being a bad player, whatever it may be, all the different behaviors and stuff, I think you'll know. Most of the time, you'll know. You'll pick up on it because, believe it or not, even though the worst players have the loudest voices, like when you go on Reddit, it's so easy to find horror stories of D&D games, of bad
Yeah.
players, of everything from a simple miscommunication being blown out of proportion all the way up to actual bad behavior, like we talked about at the top.
Mhm.
And it's everywhere. But believe it or not, I find that there are actually more good players than bad. It's just you have to
Yeah.
find them. They're out there. You have to find your group. When you do, it's amazing. There's all different kinds of services out there, like Roll20 and different things where they have services on there where you can find games. There's Discord servers like our own. There is Start Playing Games is a great place to find DMs. I think I'm going to be jumping on there actually. And so plug myself. Hey, I need the little extra money, gentlemen and friends and everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking, if you want me to be your DM, head over to Start Playing Games. Startplaying.com, I think is what it's called. Anyway,
Yeah.
but it's so easy to be a good player. It's so easy. Because most of it comes down to not being a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it is just not being a dick. Like
and read
all
your
of the other
sheet.
things
Like,
you can work on.
Everything else is fine. Yeah.
Most of the other things you can work on. Like it's okay if you're not super collaborative in the beginning. It's okay if you're not super like curious and asking crazy questions and pushing the envelope and adding to the story and the setting and in big swings. That's all okay. That most of that can come with time. Being a good person, I mean, we simply must believe that also can change with time.
Right.
But
just for my own
it also
sanity.
is like that low bar that you kind of need to hurdle in order to find these groups where you can make some friends or use the friends that you already have and just continue to foster those relationships in a positive, meaningful, fruitful way. And that fruit that you can get from that beautiful story tree is just that, the sweet, sweet stories. You know what I mean? And those moments and all of those incredible things. Oh, what's this growing in this tree? It's a bottle of water. Thank you, Big Tap.
How dare you? All right.
Natural bottled water coming from Big Tap. It's our newest product.
Out of a tree. Sure. All right. That's all we can get into this time. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at SoYouWannaBeadm, or you can ask us a question at SoYouWannaBeadm@gmail.com. If you like the episode, don't forget to give us 5 stars and a review wherever you found us, and check out the Patreon, the Twitch, and our merch with the link in the description. Join us next time for more Dungeon Master tips and tricks.
Bye.
See ya.
And now, I have the honor of giving a shout out to the members of our Patreon gang. Numuffins, may Palor's light shine upon you. Marsavies, have you watered your flesh prison lately? And then there's Elijah, Molly, Tappy, and Linguini. Gang, we appreciate and love you. Tune in next time for more tips and tricks from So You Wanna Be a DM.